Hello again. Just got a video here to show you what I picked up today at an antiques fair while out in Edinburgh today. I picked up a number of knives, multi-tools and lighters which I'd love to show with you. Before I get into that though, I would like to say for anyone that's pro-gun out there or interested in shooting, conservation, hunting, etc. I had a conversation with someone from the RSPB, which is basically an organisation that tries to take care of birds and does conservation and management in Britain. Um, to my surprise, their organisation, according to him at least, is actually neutral on shooting, um, because they see it as partly beneficial to conserve and protect other species in Britain, which I was quite surprised at. I actually thought they were very anti-gun, so I thought I would just point it out there. And while I was at it, I decided to pick up some really nice pin badges with some various animals on it. So I've got here a robin, a coal tip, and an adder. So I thought that was quite nice. £1 each goes towards protecting the countryside essentially, so it's kind of a win-win really. I mean, who doesn't want to look after the countryside? Anyway, let's get into the real topic of today's video. Let's start off with this Leatherman Skeletal CX. Picked this up for about 30 quid. Pretty good condition. It looks fairly unused. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these sell for about 80 quid, give or take. Sometimes you can even reach, 100, 110, 120. So I think to pay 30 quid for this second hand is pretty good. I mean, if we have a look here, it's pretty much still got the factory edge. I mean, that looks like that's not been sharpened by anyone at all. And it's reasonably sharp. I mean, it's not Leatherman sharp, but it's still got the factory edge, which is great, I think. One thing about the Skeletal is I've noticed that it is kind of uncomfortable to hold. But by the way, if you want me to do any separate videos on any of these items, do just let me know in the comments. So that's the first item. Let's see, moving on to a Gerber. I picked up this Gerber suspension. Now I think he had two. He said this one has not been used. It's pretty much brand new with a sheath with it. 30 quid for this. Been after one of these for a while. I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. Sounds a little bit gritty, but it looks pretty much unused, so I think it is what he says it is. Now, I do have a couple of models here that I don't actually know the name for them, and I've got a couple other sort of miscellaneous knives as well. So, of course, I picked up some Swiss Army knives, 3 in fact, all Victorinox. I'm not sure what model this is just yet. I'm obviously going to find out later on, but I mean, I literally just got home, so I thought I would just turn on the camera and share what I found with you today. Now, the only thing with this is the scale's actually broken. I didn't realise this at the time when I bought it, but that's the only damage, and to be honest, I don't care, because boy did I get a great price. Both of these, £10 for the pair. 2 Victorinox Swiss Army knives, still perfectly usable, 10 quid for 2. Fantastic. Now, unfortunately, I can't exactly share the details with you because the guy doesn't have a website, so... But I just thought I would show you what I found. Now, if you notice, that looks black there. No, it's actually translucent red. Again, I'm not really sure what model this is. In fact, this has actually got someone's name on it. Now, I do hear that the ones with the names on them are actually worth considerably less. Good, because that means it's cheaper for me. I don't care that it's got someone's name on it. I could easily sand that off or just completely ignore it. I probably won't use it. I'll probably just keep it for my collection, but this is most definitely a perfectly usable Swiss Army knife. Now, you can see there, this is one of those Victorinox with the Vinger style blade, but you can see there the Victorinox shield and the Victorinox tank stamp. And again, I'm not sure what model this is, but the tool set consists of a knife, a nail file, scissors, and the 2 openers, corkscrew and all. Now again, if you want me to show you these individually, do let me know. I actually forgot to mention that this Skeletal has someone's name on it as well, but I'm not too fussed about that. Moving on, the third Swiss Army knife. I think this is the Victorinox S557, is it? Now, the only issue with this, to me, is this is actually a locking blade, so I can't actually carry it, even though it is a Swiss Army knife, just because of the fact that that's got that lock there. That could potentially land me in some trouble to take that out with me, so I'll probably just keep it in the house for the most part. Unless I'm going for a walk in the woods or something, I suppose that might be an excuse. Great tool set on this. Now, this was an absolute bargain. 20 quid for this. Honestly, when I had a look at it, I thought it was brand new. I mean, there's some wear marks on the scales from use, but other than that, the thing's in pretty much brand new condition. And considering these things sell for £86, and I actually checked this before I started this video, on the Victorinox website, these are selling for £86. So yeah, I'm jumping at that. Like that's fantastic. That a couple more. This one is maybe not quite so interesting, but just because of what it says on it, I had to have it. J&G Stuart Ltd, Edinburgh and London. Jamie Stewart Liqueur Old Scotch Whisky. Now, I've never heard of Jamie Stewart, nor do I drink Scotch whisky or any kind of alcohol for that matter. I don't really care for alcohol. I've never even tried it, to be honest, but just because it had Edinburgh on it, you know, I had to have it because I don't really see any sort of Scottish markings on any knives ever, really. So I mean, the lady wanted what, £7 for this, so I thought, yeah, why not? Now, don't be fooled, this knife is not actually made in Edinburgh or even Scotland. It's actually made in England. I'm not too fussed about that. It's still British made. If I can get the blade open. Not the best of conditions, I know. But, you know, I'm reasonably happy with it. Made in England. My blade's seen better days. And the blade on the other side, pretty much the same. Now, I could clean this knife up. I probably won't, though. I think I'll just leave it in this condition. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like buying old knives in this condition. I just don't like putting them in this condition myself. That might seem silly, I know, but there's just something about buying an old used knife and just leaving it in that condition. Let's see. Here's the last knife here. Now, I'm just going to assume that this is some sort of scout knife. This is made by Richards. Now, the only place I really seem to see these is Etsy and, you know, antique shops and the likes. So, I'm guessing Richards is no longer in production. I have seen these on a few knife collecting groups. They're not expensive at all. I mean, I got this for... Well, I actually got this, and I forgot to mention this one as well. I got these two for 25, so I think that's not bad. We'll move to that other penknife in a wee minute. So the guy was asking about 15 for this. No, sorry, 10 for this. 15 for the other one. Richard, Sheffield, England. I mean, 10 quid is what you're going to pay on Etsy for this, so it's not too bad. The condition, it could be a lot better, but then again, it's not the worst I've seen. You can see that blade there is pretty well used. No edge on it. Well, then again, that's... You know what that is? That's usable, actually. Okay. Now, I think that's some sort of resin for the scales there. And we've got the Merlin spike, or is it Marlin spike? Last time I spoke about these kind of spikes, I was getting corrected several times because I'm saying it wrong. Is it Merlin or Marlin? Merlin? Whatever. Moving on. And the actual last knife. Now, I actually thought this was a British Army knife, but it doesn't say made in Britain or made in Sheffield or made in England anywhere on it at all. It just has the broad arrow, which essentially means property of the British government, and the year 1985. Now, I know a lot of you out there are quite familiar with this sort of knives, and actually my video on British Army knives is my most viewed, So if anyone could tell me anything about this at all, I would love to know. Let me just show you the tools. Now it's like the other ones that I've shown you previously. We've got a small screwdriver, and I'm just going to take it behind the camera because the thing's difficult to open, especially that can opener. There's just something about British Army knife can openers that are just difficult to open. Okay, so if we look at that oversized can opener, all it says is stainless steel. No the markings. And if we have a look at the blade, nothing on this side on the tank stamp. And nothing there either. Now I actually thought that there was, maybe I'm just not paying attention. To be honest, I was just really excited to go around the fair and see what goodies there was. 15 quid though, I'm happy with that. Now again, could anyone tell me, was this an original British Army knife? Is this real, or is it a Chinese fake, or is it a knockoff? I know nothing about it. And I'm guessing that's a serial number above where it says oil the joints. Which, by the way, whoever had this definitely did not oil the joints. There's not a single drop of oil anywhere near this thing. And what is that little H inside the diamond? Any information, please let me know. Now, we do have some gaps here and there, but again, it's just, you know, over 30 years old. Should I be surprised? But this is one of those knives that will come back to be in service for another 30 years. By in service, I mean usable. I mean, a knife like this would be usable for the next 100 years, to be fair. I mean, it's a solid construction, so there's that. Lastly, I got two lighters. First one, just an old Zippo with the old logos. Got that for a fiver. I'd say that's not bad. £5 for an old Zippo. I trust that some of you out there are better with Zippos than me. So when was this manufactured? I know that these Roman numerals here tell you the date. So if anyone knows, there's the price there. And the final thing I have here is quite interesting. A lighter. Now, is this actually real trench art? I don't know. I think this is Second World War. Now, as we can see here, it's made from two rifle cartridges, and we've got a 9mm cartridge on top serving as the lid. WRA. I'm sure someone can tell me what that means. Just a spent brass cartridge. Not entirely sure if this will work. I assume that I just remove the inside there and pour in the fuel, and then it should work. Let's have a little look at the bottom here. You can see that the primers have been struck. Now, as far as I'm aware, where it says 42 there, that's the year of manufacturer or something like that. And we've also got RA on the bottom of these cartridges. So if anyone knows what that is, do let me know. That more or less concludes this video. And again, if you're actually interested in going to this fair that I attended today, it's the Antiques and Collectors Fair in Ingliston, Edinburgh, next to the airport. So, I mean, there's some great things to be had there. So, I hope you liked that video. Like I said, any information you've got on any of these items here, other than the Leatherman and the Gerber, you know, do let me know. I mean, I'm really curious about that lighter, that what I assume to be a British Army knife. Any info, let me know. I suppose I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching.